Enjoy the class. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon, my dear students. Now we are going to discuss secondary growth in dicot stem. And whatever the events which are taking place during secondary growth of dicot stem applicable to stems of gymnosperms also. Okay. 1 minute. Is it clear video?
Okay, sir.
One minute. 1 minute. Okay. I think now it is clear. Please mute. Some people are speaking. Please mute. Please mute. Okay. So here we are going to discuss some main important areas only, not all areas of secondary growth. Okay. So at the time of preparation of a NEET question paper, definitely the paper setter will focus on what are the types of meristems involved during secondary growth, and what about the origin of so-called secondary meristems, and what about the contribution of those meristems, what type of tissues are produced. So here, meristems which are involved during secondary growth, first involved one is vascular cambial ring. I think the origin of this one is well known to you. Vascular cambial ring, which is formed by both intra and hello, please mute, both intra and interfascicular cambium. So vascular cambial ring is formed by, this part is very, very important. Hello, please mute, intrafascicular cambium please mute. And interfascicular cambium. And the origin of this one and this one is well known to you. Intrafascicular cambium is primary lateral meristem. Interfascicular cambium, secondary lateral meristem. So vascular cambial ring in the stems of both dicots and gymnosperms is partly primary in origin, partly secondary in origin. Okay, that is also well known to you. Now the question is, what about the role of this one, and how this vascular cambium is able to produce secondary tissues? So vascular cambial ring is concerned with the formation of what are the structures, this part. See, without diagram is not required. You practice the diagram. This is a revision program. So vascular cambial ring is concerned with the following things. What are they? Okay. So one by one. Secondary xylem. During the formation of secondary xylem, as usual, tracheids, vessels, xylem parenchyma, and xylem fibers, all these are produced. And here it is produced towards inside only, secondary xylem. And here the question is, once secondary xylem is produced, what about the fate of a primary xylem? Primary xylem remains intact as it is. There is no disturbance to primary xylem. What is the reason behind that one? The reason is the growth of the xylem in stems is from center towards periphery. So that's why primary xylem remains as it is. There is no change. There is no disintegration of that one. Okay. And what about the growth of the xylem? Yesterday we discussed. That is centrifugal growth, protoxylem towards center or towards medulla, and metaxylem is towards periphery. That we studied already. So this secondary xylem leads to what? Formation of annual rings. That is with annual rings. Annual rings are present. Annual ring is well known to you. So vascular KMM is able to cut off certain number of cells towards inside, collectively called as secondary xylem, that includes annual rings. And according to our knowledge, one annual ring is having two type of secondary xylem. What are they? That is also well known to you. So each annual ring with a first formed one, that is spring wood plus autumn wood. These two collectively called as one annual ring. So like that, per annum, one annual ring is produced. So annual, indirectly, how they will ask? Annual ring is constructed with what type of tissue? Definitely a permanent tissue, a complex tissue, and secondary tissue, that is secondary xylem. And in that secondary xylem, definitely two types of simple tissues are present. What are those simple tissues? Simple tissues, what are the simple tissues present in secondary xylem? Only two types are present. What are the simple tissues? What are they? One is parenchyma, and second one sclerenchyma. Collenchyma is completely absent. Collenchyma is always primary in origin. There is no formation of a collenchyma during secondary growth. What is the reason behind that? During secondary growth, a lot of secondary xylem is produced. Lot of sclerenchyma is produced. More number of tracheids and a more number of vessels are present. These are enough to provide mechanical support. In the woody region, there is no bending of the trunk part. What is the role of collenchyma? Providing tensile strength in the young regions only, not in the old part. So that's why there is no need to formation of a collenchyma. And who is able to provide mechanical support? Definitely secondary xylem, which is having tracheids, vessels, and sclerenchyma is definitely able to provide mechanical support to that trunk part. So that's why there is no collenchyma. So collenchyma is completely absent. So overall, even in primary xylem also, what type of simple tissues are present? Parenchyma and sclerenchyma only. So parenchyma and sclerenchyma both are the simple tissues present in primary xylem and secondary xylem. So collenchyma is always simply absent in both secondary xylem, phloem, whatever the complex tissue. Completely collenchyma is absent. Okay, so that is about annual ring. Next here, the density of annual ring, not only annual ring, or that may be sapwood or heartwood, whatever it is. It depends on quantity of lignin. If lignin is excessively deposited, definitely the density of the thickness and the weight of that one is definitely more. Okay, so these annual rings are present in, annual rings are present in both sapwood and heartwood. So that leads to what? Formation of sapwood and heartwood. Actually, both are same. Actually, sapwood is converted into heartwood. What is heartwood? Once upon a time, it was a sapwood only. Gradually, non-functional sapwood is transformed into heartwood. And at the time of transformation of sapwood into heartwood, what are the events taking place by means of which the sapwood is converted into heartwood? That so-called events are well known to you. Old sapwood. In old sapwood, xylem vessels are old. they are not able to perform conduction of water and minerals. Okay, so such vessels are blocked by thyloges. Thyloges are very, very important. What are the thyloges? Thyloges are tracheal plugs. Tracheal plug. Plug means closing. Tracheal plugs. So what is a tracheal plug or thyloges? They are the balloon-like structures which are produced by xylem parenchyma into lumina of vessels. So in the older xylem vessels, thyloges are produced. Once thyloges are produced in sapwood, that will be infiltrated with or filled with or deposited with tannins, resins, gums, latex, and other secondary metabolites. So once they are deposited with or infiltrated with so-called secondary metabolites, that sapwood concerned xylem vessels are not able to conduct water and minerals, but definitely able to provide mechanical support. Okay, so after formation of that one, sapwood will be converted into heartwood. So always, what about the size of the heartwood? Always increasing. Heartwood is also called as duramen, that is well known to you. Durability is more. Okay, so heartwood is durable. Duramen. The durability of that one is because of presence of a number of chemicals which are able to kill termites, insects, and other pests, and which are able to bore and able to drill the wood part. For example, teak wood. Teak wood is highly durable. No pest and insect is able to damage teak wood. Reason, the duramen is with a number of kinds of pesticides and insecticides and other metabolites, alkalides. They are able to kill concerned insect or pest. So that's why so-called heartwood part is highly durable. Okay, and here the question is, annual rings are present in only sapwood, only heartwood. Annual rings are present in secondary xylem. That is the given statement. What is that secondary xylem? Differentiate into sapwood and heartwood. So annual rings are present in both sapwood and heartwood. Basically, what is heartwood? That is nothing but sapwood or not. If annual rings are present in duramen, no doubt sapwood also having annual rings. Both are having annual rings. So annual rings are present in both sapwood and heartwood. Okay, and yet the question is, in the primary dicot stem, primary medullary rays are present. Purpose of primary medullary ray is radial conduction of water and minerals. So once wood is formed, actually here wood is nothing but, what is wood? Wood is nothing but secondary xylem. Wood is equal to secondary xylem. 1 minute, hang on. 1 minute, hang on. Hang on, please. 1 minute, hang on, please. Some of you, please take the screenshot and forward it to my WhatsApp ID, please. I need wait, hang on, please. One minute, hang on, please. One minute, hang on, please. Hang on, please. Okay, come back. So what is wood? Wood is nothing but secondary xylem. Please mute. Secondary xylem. Okay, so here, what are the questions possible out of a so-called secondary xylem? Annual rings are present in sapwood, heartwood. Yes, acceptable. And what type of simple tissues are present? Parenchyma and sclerenchyma. And the next one, very, very important thing, just we discussed. What about wood rays? This is also very, very important. Wood rays. Wood ray or xylem ray. Both are same. Please mute. That statement is very, very important. Please mute, please. Hello, please mute. What is this wood ray or xylem ray? This is nothing but wood ray or xylem ray is nothing but is equal to ray parenchyma in secondary xylem. Please mute. What is wood ray? Xylem ray. That is nothing but ray parenchyma present in secondary xylem. What are the types of xylem parenchyma present in xylem and phloem? Axial parenchyma, ray parenchyma. Axial parenchyma means parenchyma which is present in both phloem and xylem and parallel to the phloem or mother axis. And the axis along the length of the axis, so-called axial parenchyma is present. For example, this is a stem part, for example. And this is a xylem part, xylem or phloem part, whatever it is. So axial parenchyma is vertically arranged. So suppose take this one as this is a axial parenchyma, axial parenchyma. So axial parenchyma means parenchyma which is parallel to the main axis. Purpose vertical conduction. Once the thickness is increased, what about the other type of parenchyma produced? That is ray parenchyma. Ray, radially arranged from center towards periphery. From center towards periphery. So ray parenchyma is produced during the formation of secondary xylem and secondary phloem only. So ray parenchyma is present in a stem after secondary growth. In the primary growth, there is no formation of a ray parenchyma. It is not required. Reason the thickness of wood in that area is very less. So that's why ray parenchyma is not required. Ray parenchyma is produced during secondary growth only and present in secondary xylem and secondary phloem. Okay. And this will be part of a secondary medullary rays. Means going to replace secondary medullary rays are going to replace a primary medullary rays. So it is a 50% part of a secondary medullary ray. So that is about a wood ray or xylem ray. Is nothing but ray parenchyma present in secondary xylem which is arranged from center towards periphery and perpendicular to axial parenchyma. Okay, right? So remember that wood ray or xylem ray. Okay, next. So that's about a secondary xylem. And what about secondary phloem? Second one is a secondary phloem part. In textbook, the given statement, primary phloem and secondary phloem are crushed and removed, or secondary phloem crushed and removed. What is the meaning of that? Primary phloem is crushed and removed. Okay, acceptable. Primary phloem. Secondary phloem also crushed and removed. Means first generation secondary phloem is crushed and removed once second generation secondary phloem is produced. So gradually, what about the fate of first formed one, second formed one, third formed one, gradually replaced by recently produced secondary phloem? Okay, right? So in secondary phloem also, what are the components? And don't use any annual ring, spring wood like that, duramen, sapwood. Okay, so secondary phloem is also called as a bast. Bast region. And here, very, very important thing is, why do the vascular cambium is producing lot of secondary xylem towards side more amount of secondary xylem when compared with secondary phloem? What is the reason behind this one? So that is able to producing more secondary xylem, more secondary xylem rather than secondary phloem, more secondary xylem and less secondary phloem. What is the reason behind this? Simple reason. Out of xylem and phloem, which one is able to provide mechanical support? Definitely xylem. And which one is able to transport water from soil against gravity? Definitely xylem. So that's why more amount of secondary xylem must be produced. Okay, so that's why vascular cambium is producing lot of secondary xylem and less amount of secondary phloem. The reason is, what is the reason? One, secondary xylem have to provide mechanical support and have to transport water, minerals against gravity. So that's why more amount of secondary xylem is produced. So here I'm writing reasons. What are the reasons? Reasons for more amount of one is secondary xylem is able to provide. Secondary xylem is able to provide mechanical support. Mechanical support. And second one, conduction of water against gravity. Of course, you may question, phloem also concerned with transportation, but in phloem, most of the materials are transported towards gravity from leaf to root or not. For that one, more amount of secondary phloem is not required, just less amount is enough. So that's why vascular cambium is injustifying regarding the quantity of secondary xylem and secondary phloem. Okay, and one more thing, annual rings are clearly visible in temperate wood present in temperate climatic conditions only when compared with the tropical climatic conditions. Reason, in temperate climatic conditions are highly variable. Okay, so able to influence the activity of vascular cambium. So that's why annual rings are clearly visible in the wood or a plant which is growing in so-called tropical climatic regions, temperate climatic regions. 1 minute, hang on. Okay, right. So that's about a role of vascular cambium. Take the screenshot, please. Or take the screenshot. We will go for second meristem. Completed. Any objection regarding this one? Parmesh?
No, sir.
Visible? Is it clearly visible?
Yes, sir. Visible.
Okay. Now I'm erasing the board. Remember tyloges. Tyloges, what are the tyloges? Tracheal plugs, which are produced into the lumen of xylem vessel by the cell wall of xylem parenchyma. Cell wall of xylem parenchyma is able to produce extension, simply extension of cell wall. Extension of cell wall of parenchyma present in xylem into the lumen of vessels. Generally, tyloids are present in vessels only, but not in tracheids. Okay, right? Now I'm erasing the word. Remember this one. This is part of out of. Generally, out of anatomy, they are not going beyond NCERT textbook. If the question use it, tyloges, tracheal plugs, which are produced into lumens of vessels by the cell wall of xylem parenchyma. Okay, right? Now, second one. So first formed one is vascular cambial ring. One more cambial ring is required. What is that? One, second one that is well known to you, phellogen or cork cambium. You can answer any question possible out of a vascular cambial ring. But if a question is framed out of phellogen and cork cambium, definitely you'll get confused. Okay. So what about phellogen? It is also a secondary lateral meristem, and it is completely produced by means of 100%, completely 100%. It is product of please mute, please mute. Phellogen, hello, please mute. Product of de-differentiation of parenchyma. And what about vascular cambium? It is product of both differentiation and de-differentiation. Means partly primary, partly secondary. But what about this one? 100% secondary in origin, 100% secondary meristem. And what about vascular cambial ring? 50% primary, 50% secondary. Okay. Now, what about the role of cork cambium? This part is very, very important. Cork cambium is concerned with the redifferentiation of two types of regions or zones. One is phellum towards outside, phellum or cork. Okay, so completely dead tissue, suberized tissue, and phellum is discontinuously produced. Dead tissue is well known to you. So phellum is discontinuous. Is it continuous? No. Discontinuous in the form of patches. In between patches, in the form of patches. Discontinuous means in the form of patches. In the gap present between two successive patches of phellum, complementary cells are present. So in between two patches, PAT patches of cork tissue, complementary cells, specialized parenchymatous cells. Okay, so according to your knowledge, lens-shaped opening, that is called as a lenticell. That region is called as a lenticell. Okay, so cork cambium is producing phellum complementary cells towards outside. So towards outside, how many types of cells? So kinds of cells outside. Kinds of cells towards outside. How many kinds? Two kinds. What are they? Phellum and complementary cells. Phellum and complementary cells. So according to, if you look into a textbook, that was clearly mentioned. Phellum is phellogen or cork KMM is producing complementary cells here and there within the phellum. What is the meaning of that one? Phellum is discontinuous. That part is very, very important. Okay, for example, this is a dicot stem after or secondary growth is going on. So this one is lenticel. This part is lenticel. Epidermis. This one is epidermis. Okay, so and wait, hang on. The phellum part, phellum, and this is epidermis, and continue it. And here and there, complementary cells are present. So what about the phellum? Is it continuous? Discontinuous only. Okay, remember that one. And what about the characteristics of phellum or cork? Suberized, dead tissue, compactly arranged, impervious to water and exchange of gases. So internal tissues are in living condition. For respiratory activity of internal tissues, compulsory O2 is required or not? So that's why complementary cells are produced within the phellum here and there. Okay, so that's about phellum and lenticel, complementary cells. And towards inside a complete living tissue, that is phylloderm. Or secondary cortex. Basically, these two are parenchymatous only. So cork KMM is not concerned with, not concerned with formation of vascular tissues. If it is not concerned with formation of vascular tissues, definitely it is concerned with formation of simple tissues only. So it is concerned with simple tissues. What are those simple tissues? That is also a question. Simple tissues. What are those simple tissues? Simply go for parenchyma. Parenchyma only. Okay, so cork KMM or phellogen is not able to produce xylem and phloem. Concerned with formation of simple tissues only, particularly parenchyma, but not what type of simple tissues? No collenchyma, no sclerenchyma. So no collenchyma and no sclerenchyma. Okay, and here very, very important thing, bark. Bark is very, very important. So according to your knowledge, what is bark? Bark means all the tissues outside the vascular cambial ring. So outside the vascular cambial ring means what are the zones? So outside the vascular cambial ring means secondary phloem first. Okay, so immediately towards outside the vascular cambium, definitely phloem is present, secondary phloem. And after that, next one, definitely this part. This one is phylloderm. And after that one, definitely phellogen. This one is a phellogen. And towards outside, cork tissue, and complementary cells. So cork. So secondary phloem, phylloderm, phellogen, cork. So secondary phloem plus periderm, collectively called as a bark. Okay. Is it clear? Any objection? Okay. Wait, hang on. Now we are going to discuss and link various tissues which are produced here with the differentiation, dedifferentiation, and redifferentiation. Okay. Are you following me? Any objection? Any doubt? All of you, please respond. Any
No,
doubt?
sir. Continue.
Okay. Now I am erasing the board. Here there is a need to discuss differentiation, dedifferentiation, and redifferentiation. Under the heading plant growth and development, it was given. Differentiation. Actually, that differentiation, dedifferentiation, redifferentiation, part of growth and development only during primary and secondary growth. Differentiation, dedifferentiation, and redifferentiation. So how to understand these statements? Okay, right? So take one flow chart. With the help of flow chart, you can understand. Otherwise, you have to by heart. Okay, follow this flow chart. You can understand what is differentiation, what is dedifferentiation, and what is redifferentiation. If you are able to link secondary growth with plant growth and development, you can understand the given heading: differentiation, dedifferentiation, redifferentiation, given in plant growth and development. Okay. So now here I'm taking first one, primary meristem. Primary meristem. That primary meristem, here I'm taking apical meristem. Yes, that is true. Apical meristem. This apical meristem now apical meristem is showing arithmetic growth. Arithmetic growth is well known to you. What is arithmetic growth? Geometric growth and arithmetic growth. Here take arithmetic growth only. Oh, do you know open form of growth? Open form of growth. What is open form of growth? We'll see here. For example, this apical meristem is with 100 cells. For example, only 100 cells are present. For example, only. So mitotic division completed. How many cells are produced? For example, 200 cells are produced after mitosis. After completion of mitosis, in that apical meristem, total number of cells produced 200. Out of 200, 100 cells, for example, only suppose 100 cells continuing mitosis. So out of 200, how many are with the mitotic ability and to continue cell division again? 100 cells, means 50%, for example. And what about remaining 100 cells? Remaining 100 cells. 100 cells opened for growth. What is that opened for growth? Formation of permanent tissues. So in these cells, cell division, mitosis stopped. Stopped means they are at G0 phase. May or may not able to perform cell division. So there, in those cells, cell division is either permanently stopped or temporarily abolished. That depends. Okay, now these cells are subjected to first event, the given one, differentiation. So what is differentiation? Loss of cell division, either permanently or temporarily. That depends on type of the tissue. Okay, right? Leads to what? Formation of a primary permanent tissues. So producing primary permanent tissues. Here I'm taking small box for this one. So what about the products of differentiation? What are they? Primary permanent tissues. What are those primary permanent tissues? All simple tissues. What are those simple tissues? Parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma. Okay, and complex tissues. What are those complex tissues? Primary xylem. Primary xylem. Box is very small. Please follow this one. Primary xylem. Primary phloem. So that is about differentiation. So up to this part is primary growth only. The primary growth. This primary growth is common for all plants. All plants means all gymnosperms, all angiosperms here. Those which are having secondary growth. Parenchyma is able to produce secondary meristems. What are those secondary meristems? So next event is dedifferentiation. Dedifferentiation means regaining of mitotic ability. Dedifferentiation by parenchyma. Parenchyma is able to regain mitotic ability. Means regaining of mitotic ability. So that leads to what? Formation of secondary meristems. What are the secondary meristems? One, interfascicular cambium and phellogen. Regaining of mitotic ability. Okay, right? Now, next event. Next event, here I'm writing. Next event is redifferentiation. Redifferentiation means again loss of cell division, either temporarily or permanently. So redifferentiation leads to what? Here also open form of growth. So this growth is called as open form of growth. Open form. What is open form? Here basically 100 cells are present. 100 cells convert into 200 cells. Out of 200, 100 are retained and remaining 100 are open for growth, involved in the formation of permanent tissues. And here also secondary meristems are with certain number of cells. For example, 1000 cells, 1000 into 2000 cells. Out of 2000 cells, 500 cells are continuing as meristematic cells. Remaining 500 are converted into so-called subjected to redifferentiation. What is redifferentiation? Again, loss of mitotic ability of meristematic cells produced by so-called secondary meristems. So what about the products of redifferentiation? Redifferentiation products, what are they? They are secondary permanent tissues. What are they? One, simple tissues, parenchyma. No collenchyma, don't use collenchyma here, sclerenchyma. Collenchyma there only, not here. Parenchyma, sclerenchyma, secondary xylem, secondary phloem. Okay, so this flowchart is mandatory to understand differentiation, dedifferentiation, redifferentiation. Link this one with secondary growth. You can answer any question possible out of a so-called differentiation, dedifferentiation, redifferentiation. So this one is concerned with the primary growth. and these two are concerned with the secondary growth, simply. Okay. Next, very, very important thing, bark. Take the bark. Bark. In bark, what are the tissues or zones present? Secondary phloem. Secondary phloem is redifferentiation product of vascular cambium. Secondary phloem is redifferentiation product of vascular cambium. Remember that one. Next, phelloderm. Phelloderm is produced by phellogen. So phelloderm is redifferentiation product of phellogen. Okay. Next, phellogen. Phellogen is dedifferentiation product of parenchyma. Parenchyma regaining mitotic ability. Next, cork tissue. Finally, cork tissue. Wait, hang on. Cork tissue. Cork tissue is redifferentiation product of phellogen. Here, what type of questions are possible? Are you following me? This is very, very important. See, my question is secondary phloem. Secondary phloem is part of bark or not? So what about secondary phloem? Secondary phloem is redifferentiation product of vascular cambium. So what is the type of tissue present in bark? And that is redifferentiation product of vascular cambium, means secondary phloem. So simply remember, secondary phloem is redifferentiation product of vascular cambium present in bark part. Okay. Next, what about phelloderm? Phelloderm is redifferentiation product of phellogen. Now, what about phellogen? Phellogen is dedifferentiation product of parenchyma. And what about cork? Complementary cells. They are the redifferentiation products of phellogen. Is it clear? Any objection? Any objection? Okay. Take the screenshot, please. Okay, enough. Today enough. Now your objections, your questions. Every day, please come with certain number of doubts, please. I will focus on those areas. Parmesh.
Sir.
Come with certain number of doubts, please. Shashank.
Okay, sir.
All of you, please. From tomorrow onwards, come with certain number of critical areas or doubtful areas or the areas where you are not able to understand the content. Come with the content. I will give some certain number of flowcharts, examples, and synopsis. For that, with the help of that, you can strengthen that area. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Is it clear? Please try to attend the class every day. I will give you important areas. Okay? Bye. See you. We will meet tomorrow during same time, 2 to 3. Okay? Bye. See you. Take care. And convey my regards to your parents.
Thank you, sir.
And your kith and kin. Okay? Bye. See you. Okay? Bye. See you. Now I am ending our meeting and our class. Okay? Bye. See you.